The promoter was gone by 9 o'clock. The money was gone with him. Every dollar from 4,000 ticket sales. Collected, pocketed, and vanished into a Tuesday night in 1979. Ray Charles heard about it from his road manager at 9:15. The show had been scheduled for 9:30. The venue was locked. The band was sitting in a hotel 2 miles away, still in their street clothes, eating room service, watching television. 4,000 people were standing outside the venue in the cold. Some had driven 2 hours. Some had brought their children. Some were holding tickets they had saved up for. Because a Ray Charles concert was not a cheap night out, and it was not the kind of thing you got to do every year. Most performers, when a promoter steals their show, go to a lawyer. Ray Charles went to the venue without a contract, without payment, without a guarantee of anything. 4,000 people were waiting outside. That, he said later, was reason enough. The promoter had collected approximately $80,000 in ticket revenue over the previous 3 weeks. Standard procedure was to hold that money in escrow until after the performance. The promoter had done none of these things. He had simply taken the money and left. Ray Charles's road manager, Joe Adams, reached him by phone at 9:15. He laid out the situation in 3 sentences. The promoter was gone. The money was gone. There was nothing they could do before the following morning. Ray Charles listened to all 3 sentences. Then he said, "Are the people still there?" Adams looked out his hotel window. From 4 floors up, he could see the parking lot of the venue 2 blocks away. It was full. "Yeah," he said. "They're still there." "Then we're still there," Ray Charles said. "Call the band. Get the car." "There's no contract tonight," Adams said. "No payment, no technical crew, no sound check." "Joe," Ray Charles said, 4,000 people drove here tonight. They paid for a show. That promoter stole their money. Not mine. Get the car." Adams made 12 phone calls in the next 20 minutes. The band was pulled from their hotel rooms, some mid-meal, some already in pajamas. Equipment was loaded back into the truck. The venue's own house crew, standing by inside the locked building, were reached through a side door intercom and told that Ray Charles was on his way. The house crew opened the building. They had a house sound system, not the touring rig Ray Charles usually performed with, but functional. They had house lighting, flat, unset, the kind of lighting that makes a stage look like an office. They had no set list, no stage plot, no advanced technical rider. Word spread through the crowd outside with the particular speed that word spreads when 4,000 people are standing in a cold parking lot with nothing to do but talk. By the time Ray Charles's car pulled up to the side entrance, people had moved from the front of the building to surround it entirely. Not in an aggressive way, but in the way that people move towards something they sense is about to matter. Ray Charles got out of the car. He could not see the crowd, but he could hear them, a low murmur that shifted in pitch when they realized who had arrived. His road manager guided him to the stage entrance. Someone had found a bench for the piano. Someone else had set up 2 microphones. Ray Charles sat down at the piano. He played 1 note, just one, to hear what the room sounded like. Then he leaned into the microphone and said, "I heard somebody stole your evening. I came to give it back." The noise that came back at him from 4,000 people was, by every account of everyone who was there, unlike anything they had heard before or since. He played for 2 hours and 40 minutes. No set list, no breaks beyond what the band needed to catch their breath. He called songs from across 40 years of his career. "Georgia on My Mind," "Hit the Road Jack," "I Got a Woman," "America the Beautiful," "What Did I Say?" Pulling them from memory the way a man pulls familiar things from a room he has lived in his whole life. His trumpet player said afterward that it was the loosest, most alive he had ever seen Ray Charles on stage. He wasn't performing, he said. He was just playing, like it was a living room. like there was nothing at stake. And because there was nothing at stake, everything was possible. The house sound engineer, a young man named Terry, working his first major show, said he forgot to do his job for the first 20 minutes. "I just stood there," he said. "I forgot I was supposed to be doing anything. I just watched." At the 2-hour mark, Ray Charles stopped between songs. The arena had gone quiet. He sat at the piano with his hands in his lap. Then he spoke. "I want to say something to you all," he said. "What happened to you tonight? A man taking your money, your time, your evening. That's wrong. I can't fix that. I can't give you your money back. I can't undo what he did." He paused. "But I can give you this, and I hope it's worth something." He played Georgia on My Mind last. The full arrangement, slow and complete. Every note placed the way he placed notes when he was playing for himself rather than for a production. When it ended, the arena was silent for almost 10 seconds. That particular silence that is not the absence of sound, but the presence of something too large for sound to contain. Then 4,000 people stood up at once. Ray Charles never recovered the performance fee from that night. The promoter was eventually found, prosecuted for fraud, ordered to make restitution. Ray Charles received nothing. For 2 hours and 40 minutes on a cold Tuesday night in an arena in the American Midwest. He never mentioned it publicly, not in interviews, not in his autobiography. The story survived because of the people who were there. Audience members who told their children, who told their friends, who wrote about it in letters and diaries that have since been shared and archived. Joe Adams was asked about it years later. Ray never talked about it, he said, because to him it wasn't a story. It was just what you do. You have an obligation. You meet it. That's not a story. That's just being a person. "The people always show up," Ray Charles said once in an unrelated interview years later. "They get dressed, they drive, they find a sitter for the kids, they show up. The least you can do is show up too." On a Tuesday night in 1979, a promoter took $80,000 and disappeared, and Ray Charles got in a car, drove to a locked venue, knocked on the side door, sat down at an unfamiliar piano under flat White House lights, and played for 2 hours and 40 minutes. For free, because 4,000 people had shown up. And that, to him, was the whole point. The promoter was eventually found. Ray Charles was never paid, and not one of the 4,000 people who were there that night ever asked for their money back. If this story moved you, subscribe, because next week we have another Ray Charles story, and it's even harder to believe.